All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first one we're going to talk about the brand new breaking news, I guess, a Tesla Model Y Project Jupiter. We already have the Project Model 3 Project Highland, and I guess now we've also got a Project Jupiter. I was really hoping for a project like Dolphin or something like that because that would be hilarious, but we've got Tesla Model Y Project Jupiter. We'll talk about what we know so far, and we'll talk about when this might actually be coming out, what type of horizon date or something like that. And so looks like Tesla's going to have a quite exciting next few years, at least through 2025. So we'll definitely get into it. But before we do that, let's roll that intro real quick. Thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link, where you can get the best credit union rates, interest rates on financing your Tesla, down below in the description, but more on that later. And thank you to my latest Patreon members that just joined within the past 24 hours. Kumar, Zach, thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining the Patreon, and certainly thank you for supporting. So let's get into this first topic. I know everybody probably wants to talk about Tesla Investor Day, but before we do that, let's roll through a couple of topics right before that. So let's digress a little bit, right? So Tesla is coming out allegedly with a Tesla Model Y refresh or revamp called Project Jupiter, codename, that's what it is right now. And what people are saying, or at least what Reuters is saying, is this might actually be coming out in the end of 2024. Taking a look at this, this is what we know right now, that the Tesla Model 3 Project Highland is supposed to come out sometime around September, and so of this year, at least in the China factories, and so probably America will come shortly right after that. But then looking at this is basically speculating that the Tesla is planning to build the car October of 2024, which would be, of course, next year or 1 year after the Tesla Model 3. And that's pretty crazy, right? That's right after a Model 3 launch of this year. That would be pretty close to a Model 3 and then a Model Y. So let me know your thoughts on that. Like, what are you thinking about it? Do you think, because there's a lot of people buying Model 3s right now, and there's a lot of people essentially also buying Model Ys right now, and to hear that, maybe a refresh is like just on the horizon, like maybe even next year, it's kind of interesting. But at the same time, like, we have no idea what they're going to do with these refreshes. The only thing that we've heard so far is that they're going to scale them, make them more efficiently, as they talked about a lot in the Investor Day. I think that was like kind of the key phrase of today's Investor Day. Let's just be more efficient. Let's scale down on costs and make cars quicker, I guess, at a faster pace. And so, that kind of looks a little scary. It sounds scary to me, right? Because, we already, if you've been watching the channel, if you've been following along, you already know my position on how Tesla vehicles are, they're certainly not luxury cars. And, they talk about this next Project Highland coming out at what? They didn't really talk about price. They didn't talk about anything about that. It's the next generation. It's gonna be quicker to build probably, and a lot cheaper to build. And so when I hear cheaper, I of course I think that possibly the brand will be getting cheaper as well. And we've got a Project Highland, which they're probably trying to reduce costs and make it more scalable, Model 3, and then also a Project Juniper Model Y. They're probably essentially going to do the same thing as well. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat. We're going to try and streamline some of these topics through here, but let's take a look to see what. Shout out to Tesla Scope for posting this. If you notice, the article's timeline of production in 2024 matches the fuzzy timeline we're given and communicated in subsequent replies. Prototypes for the Juniper has been underway, but less progress than with the Model 3 Project Highland, already spotted in the wild. Yeah, because that makes sense. Of course, they're going to roll through the Model 3 first. It came out before the Model Y, and I would think they would give it like more years gap from this, because you got to think about it, right? So the Model 3 first came out, what, 2017, 2018, and then the Model Y was like a 2020. So there's like at least a 2 to 3 year gap. So it wouldn't really make sense for Tesla to release them back to back, because I certainly feel like a lot of owners would rather just buy a Model Y instead of a Model 3. And so they would probably want to give it a couple of years of sales for the Model 3 before switching over to the Model Y, if you know, if that makes sense. And then Tesla Scope here says, we only share news on Twitter because we adore the community here. We really only do this for fun alongside our web platform for vehicle owners. This is the same reason we've not explored creating a proper news section of our website, but despite being asked. I think what's going along right now, or going down a lot, is that a lot of influencers, a lot of Tesla influencers are getting denied to these Tesla events, because essentially a lot of these Tesla Twitters, they try and post news as quick as possible as they hear them, and so Tesla may not like that until it's official at the end of the day. So maybe that's why they wrote this section right here. But as you were joining in, as you always come into this channel, we're going to take a look at the market and see what type of inventory is actually out there. And so taking a look at the Tesla Model Y, there's still a healthy, good amount of Tesla vehicles right now. There's 230 Tesla Model Ys that are available for sale. Shout out to waitingfortesla.com. This is a third-party aggregator site where you can see all the inventory around you. And there's 18 long range available for sale and 212 Model Y standard ranges for sale. It's a good amount, good healthy amount. Switching to Model 3, there is certainly going to be a good amount at 193. And what's interesting is we're starting to see a handful of demos starting to trickle in. Demos plus demos equal discount. So you can see right here, this one only has 6 miles. I think this is the same one we saw yesterday. It's got a $640 discount on a brand new Tesla Model 3. And then jumping down here, we've got a bunch of two Model 3 performances, one with a $1,200 discount with 795 miles. Of course, this is a red one, and then a black one with a $420 discount. So, definitely interesting to say the least that they've come out with inventory discounts already, especially when inventory is relatively low right at the end of the day. And so if we take a look at the inventory charts, we saw this yesterday with all those Model Ys being dumped into inventory, and you can see right here we are seeing a lot higher than of inventory that we've seen in the past. So we're at 290 at one point of Tesla Model Ys being loaded to the site, and in the past we've only had 243 and then 227. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know on Project Jupiter. Is this changing kind of your perspective on if you want to buy a Tesla Model Y now, or you don't even worry about it and they're just gonna have it? I mean, because you all know my stance on this. Like, just buy the Tesla whenever it's the best time for you, because there can always be another one after that, and you can never really time Tesla with all the different enhancements and everything that they do. And the funny thing is, they didn't really talk about hardware 4, right? I heard the question that got asked during Investor Day about hardware 4, but they did not say anything, or they didn't really address it, at least from what I hear from that. But we're definitely going to go through all the different Tesla Investor Days, and of course I want to hear from you all what your comments on Investor Day was. And I kind of know what the sentiment was already, but basically it was long. It was a long presentation at the end of the day. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link, so definitely check it out. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. We got a variety of topics. Thanks for jumping in, everyone. We will talk about CVRP as well, because the person that I got the information from said he called his Connect as well, and he's sticking to the same story. So maybe we'll do a brief blip on that just to kind of update from where we're at there. But yeah, CVRP maybe still be live. We don't know. We don't know at the end of the day. But let's jump into our next topic. I'm going to try and streamline this one topics a little bit better, right? So we don't have to do, maybe we won't do the intro every single time, but let's see here. So I don't know if you guys saw this next thing, but at Spotted Giga, it was spotted at Giga Texas. The new color midnight cherry red and quicksilver was actually spotted outside. So this is kind of interesting. So it brings a question. Well, two questions I have is, did they create this color here, like at the factory at Giga Austin? I mean, of course, these are like probably the worst pictures everywhere. Like we can't even tell if this is actually the cherry red or the quicksilver, but I mean, we can assume it is. Like that definitely looks like cherry red. That, depending on lighting and sun, daylight, clouds, all that stuff, that could just be silver, but it does look like quicksilver as well. But my question is, like, did they make these at Giga Texas, or did what most likely happened is did they ship them? Because if they made them, that would be pretty interesting, right? Like maybe that they're testing their capabilities of being able to produce these colors out of Giga Texas. Maybe is Midnight Cherry a color that's coming soon, or is Quicksilver coming soon? I mean, that would definitely. I mean, I don't think. I mean, the Tesla Model Y certainly does not need any sort of hype to kind of juice more sales or get more people to actually buy them. But if they ever needed to, they could just release these two, maybe call them limited edition colors, call them summertime colors or whatever, and people would actually try and get these colors, especially this. I don't know what. I think both of them are cool in their own right. That's for sure. Which one would I pick over the other one? That's tough. That's certainly tough. I don't know. Let's do a poll. Which color would you pick for your Model Y? Quick silver, cherry red. Because I certainly feel like both of them are a slick color. I would love to have both of them, of course, but I think I would do cherry red because it's more unique, and then maybe Quicksilver on the next one. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. It was spotted at Giga Texas, but I have not seen, and maybe some of you have as well, or some of you have and I haven't, but I haven't seen anybody post about this, like besides this spy shot right here on Reddit. Like I haven't seen anyone, posting on Twitter. Of course, it's mostly about like, the banter about Investor Day or the banter about, Cybertruck, the cool sighting, because it definitely looks a little polished. And of course, we'll talk about that as well. But let me know what color you would pick at the end of the day. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Looks like it was a drone flyover shot. That'd be a good question, because if the driver's seats, here's a question: are the driver's seats on the left or right in Berlin? Because if you're able to zoom in onto the driver's side, you should be able to see, where this car actually came from. But definitely some interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Which color would you get? Down below in the description, or down below in the comments, or in the live chat. And would you try and delay your order if these colors came out soon? Like we could see a dump on the website, right? Well, what if Tesla just dumps like a bunch of Model Y standard ranges, red cherry, midnight cherry red, and quicksilver? Would you drop down to an Model Y all-wheel drive, or would you keep your long range at the end of the day? But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts. Water break. Taking a look at the vote. Ooh, wow. Quicksilver is winning. It's pretty even though, 57 to 43. But wow, Quicksilver. Okay. 1 second. All right, let's jump into some of the comments and some of the questions. Hey, Rich, how are you? Any more Jiffer? I don't know. Jan, welcome. Anything new, my guy? Didn't watch it. It was boring. We're going to run through a bunch because I've got like 10 or 20 tabs loaded up here, and we will go through what I thought was interesting from Investor Day. And of course, because I'm very selective and I try and, pick what's the best out there, or at least, because, it's funny, like I put a Twitter poll out there, I certainly prefer Tesla buying content versus TSLA content, right? So this is what I put out there yesterday. Like I prefer Tesla buying content over TSLA buying content at the end of the day. But I feel like most other people prefer the other way around. Hit the like if you agree. Yeah, look at that. Quicksilver 56%. Wow, okay. So I guess most people prefer Quicksilver. I guess I was wrong. All right, let's get into it. Sorry for the break there. Christina, welcome. Today's investor day was a snorefest. Yeah, 100%. Juniper. Surprised Elon didn't call it Jupiter. Is it Jupiter or Juniper? Did I mess up? Juniper. I think I did mess up. Oh well, I'll change it after. Hey, is it worth buying 2017 Model S full self-driving for 38K, less than 40K miles? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if I would get that old of a Model S. Hi, Dennis. Do you think this is the right time to buy a Model Y or Model 3? Model 3 standard range. Debatable. Model Y, I would say if you have the older price point for sure. And we have no idea what's going on with this federal tax credit. I just got a text today from a Tesla rep saying it's going all the way till the end of 2023. I don't know how legit that is, or they're just feeding me just BS at the end of the day. But yeah, the website hasn't changed, of course. They could be certainly delayed there, but yeah, really, really interesting stuff at the end of the day. Okay, got my VIN today. Got to finish getting the paperwork sent to Tower tomorrow. Delivery is 3:15 to 3:21. Nice, congrats. I know you've been certainly anxious or been on the waiting room for a little bit, so congrats, you got your VIN. A 2023 Model 3 standard range black with white interior comes out to 45,490. On CVRP mentions base MSRP less than 45,000. Do you or anyone have an insight on this? Yeah, base MSRP is without the option, so you should be good. Investor Day equals snooze fest. Now looming forward to announcement of the reveal date soon. Yeah, and it's weird at the end. I guess we'll just talk about the Investor Day, but it was weird at the end there about the new generation platform. They got that Q&A. Someone asked it, and Elon was like, "Oh, we're just going to decline that question at the end of the day." So I thought that was interesting. What's going on in California CVRP? We'll definitely talk about. Cheaper and more efficient sounds like reduced features and Gemini plastic wheels. 100,000%. Today's Investor Day wasn't interesting at all. No new updates, no new vehicles or hardware for a little bit let down. Yeah, for sure. And maybe they should have prefaced it a little bit differently. Like this is because they did talk about this. They're going to talk about their plan for the next 10 years, at least on the preview intro statement. And then they should have asterisked it. Like we will not be talking about, any new models. We will not be talking about any new software. We were literally just going to be talking about our plan. Dennis, you get a chance to make your Model X video. Very, very close. I got the footage all separated out. I'm going to send it to an editor because sometimes you just realize you can't get to it. And then hopefully the editor spits out a edit real quick, and then we'll just make the thumbnail and then it'll just go out. That's for sure. Nothing new. 4K cameras. Mickey Cup. Oh, yes. Retro Mickey Cup. Right there. See it? I'm repping. The silver is dupe. That red is terrible. Yes. I guess I can go either way. Waiting for Model Y long range 7-seater white on white. Saw a Model Y long range 7 in gray and white. And Towich asked inventory page to get back on the gray Y on the payment page. 5 minutes later, got a call and asked if they probably disappeared. Oh, yeah. I'm happy to have gotten my blue Model Y long range for $53,990 in time for the tax credit. Not too worried about Juniper. Dogs are constantly chase traffic, eventually get run over. I guess that's a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly. Just, accept the bone that you got and dig it and put it in a hole. Could match our early February low price and transfer the $250 deposit, both with they said yes, and the manager swapped our order before we decided. Apartment saying they asked if they could, oh, I see, could match our February low price and transfer the 250 deposit, both of which they said yes. And the manager swapped the order before we decided. Okay, nice. So that's good news, right? Dang, a refresh Model Y. I just said I was going to order a brand new Performance. Yeah, seems like it's on the horizon. I mean, this is a rumor from Reuters. Reuters, right? Yeah. And so it's probably going to be next year, late next year, at least from what the rumor says. I would just say put, 2025 at this point. Well, basically, I would say put a year or two after the Model 3 Highland comes out, the Model 3 refresh, which we are certainly starting to see that car, drive on the streets. But after that, put a year to 2 years after it. But let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do a new style. Let's see. I can just do this and then, yeah. So I don't know if any of you saw this, but I thought this was super interesting. Ford just patented a autonomous vehicle repossession patent. So, you've probably seen those jokes or memes on how, like, if you stop paying your Tesla payment, Tesla would just, use the full self-driving to call your vehicle back from you. And then that way they can get your vehicle back in what's called a repossession. But I guess Ford essentially beat them to the punch on patenting it, or I guess maybe they didn't even think about patenting it. But this article is from Motor Authority. Ford is trying to patent technology that would allow cars to repossess themselves. Okay, so Ford is trying to patent the technology. As spotted first by The Drive, a Ford patent application titled System and Methods to Repossess a Vehicle was published by the U.S. Patent and Trade Office on submitted by August 20th. So I thought this was pretty interesting. Like, look at this diagram right here. Like, lending institution, contacts network, hits cell phone, hits the car, and then the car in the chip in the car, and then a medical device. Oh, I see. Like, if the medical facility could contact them and back and forth. But it's funny that a lending institution and a medical device are on the same written schematic here. But let me know what your thoughts on this are, because at the end of the day, as we get more connected and lined up, I mean, they're kind of like, I guess the closest thing to relate this to is like cell phones, I guess. Like, if a cell phone is locked up with a pin and it's lost and or stolen, like, the phone's basically locked up and you can't use it for the most part anyways, unless you have the code. But I guess, no, that's not really the same thing either. But no, or like if you have a payment plan on your cell phone and you stop paying it, essentially the phone could be blacklisted and anybody buying it after could not use these services within the cell phone. Like, they couldn't use it as their own cell phone. So, I mean, as we get more connected, stuff like this is certainly going to happen. As vehicles start to drive themselves, as like the robo taxi starts to come out, as Tesla, talked about today during Investor Day, then things like this will certainly start to happen. Or they'll just send their the Tesla robot to your house and take your car and go home. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. I thought this was funny, so I wanted to show it out here. But let me know what your thoughts on it are. Water break. They could charge $3,000 for those colors and people will pay. Yeah, especially if they put on those colors the Midnight Silver and the Quicksilver, like limited time only or something like that. But we would stick with the white and risk the 35 ROI, 3550 IOA, and they swapped it back pronto. Great service, actually. Nice. Congrats. Yeah, we have no idea. There's no update at all on the $7,500 tax credit. I even went to the IRS site. No update. No update here. Like, usually they would post it like right at the bottom or something like that, but still nothing yet, unfortunately. So if you're waiting, I mean, as every day goes by and as every day the IRS and the Treasury do not announce anything, then I would say you're good to go. Take delivery, because they're not going to shaft anybody that has already taken delivery. Well, I don't want to say not going to, but most likely they won't. German cars have same driving position. Please don't replay it. The Quicksilver has steering wheel on left. Check Tesla Roddy. Oh, Okay. Come on, D, drop those investor day observations. Okay. Now, since like everybody wants to talk about it, I know. Okay, so let us talk about it. So let's hit the marker. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to talk about Tesla Investor Day, and I guess my thoughts on it. I guess we'll just run through. I've got a bunch of tabs loaded up, and we'll go through what I thought was interesting from it. And then we'll just, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. So definitely drop it in the live chat, drop it in the comments, and as we roll through it. So let us jump straight into it. And if you're new here, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on your Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And so let's jump into it. The first thing that I thought, of course, you know me, I love talking about Tesla buying content instead of Tesla stock price content. This stuck out to me because I was like, wait, what? So if you didn't know, Tesla seems to have announced that they will be rolling out a unlimited overnight home charging plan for your Tesla in Texas only, starting in July for $30 a month. If you're in Texas, let me know. Is this like a good deal? Like, because if this came out in California, that'd be crazy. That's for sure. But jumping into the some of the schematics of this, so unlimited overnight home charging. Like, I guess they can collab with the utility companies because they have the Powerwall hookup, I guess, and something like that set up. They have the agreements, but $30 a month, that seems like a slick deal. That's for sure. I mean, if this was $30 a month in California, for sure it'd be a good deal. Even if it was because we out here, it's essentially anywhere from I would say an average 20 cents a kilowatt. And so to charge a Model X, that's like $20 each time. And so let's say you just do it once a week, that's $80, $100, maybe even a little bit more or a little bit less. So if you can do unlimited charging in California for $50 a month, $60 a month, that would still kind of be worth it at the end of the day. But this stuck out to me. That was probably the main thing that stuck out to me. I know it's kind of it's funny, right, with Investor Day and all these different things they're talking about. But this was probably the number one thing, that if they can do this in every single state, that would be pretty interesting. And then if they could do this at limited overnight home charging for Tesla owners at Tesla superchargers, that would be even better at the end of the day. But that was the first thing that stuck out to me from there. The second thing is, of course, they talked about what their plans are for all these different vehicles. They showed this infographic, but you can't really see what's going on with any of this, right? So what's inside posted this, so shout out to them. There is a van-ish SUV that you can see right here. It's like a slope line, and then $700 million for, I guess this has got to be their Tesla Model 2 or Model Dolphin variant, whatever the cheapest version from that is. So of course that would be interesting. We got the huge, massive Cybertruck here, and we don't got Roadster on here, right? Because that's not a fleet vehicle. That's a one-off vehicle. But the Cybertruck certainly will be very, very, very nice. And then here's of course, a recap from Tesla Scope. It's for probably the most in-detailed recap that kind of concise everything very nicely. So definitely check out this one from Tesla Scope on Twitter if you're interested. And then moving to here, we've got some details on the Model 2 or whatever this next gen. But it was funny how when they were asked about next gen Tesla, they kind of just didn't say anything, or they just declined it at the end of the day. But all in cost for the driving unit, $1,000, 50% in factory footprint, all this other stats from it. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff at the end of the day. But yeah, definitely a snooze fest at the end of the day. Mostly boring, mostly very long and drawn out. They to have every department go up and say something a little bit, they could have concised it maybe, but that's just me. Maybe we're just living in an ADD generation now, where just everything has to be now and instant and concise and all that stuff. But here's of course, this was probably the big news that they didn't really talk about until the very, very, very end, right, when Elon came out and it was a Q&A session. It wasn't part of any of their slides. And of course, they announced Gigafactory Mexico in Monterrey. And of course, right here in the tagline, it says manufacturing next gen vehicle. And so if you take a look at that picture I think I had it. Oh, I guess I didn't have it up. But someone was like isolated. I think it was Tesla Chan. He like isolated this picture. Like he noticed that it was maybe a smaller factory than some of the other ones, so maybe more efficient. There's what Tesla semis to the side right there, so they'd be utilizing that. It's like 2 buildings with solar all on top. Usually Tesla's MO, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff for the Giga Factory Mexico. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly they can ramp up this factory, because I think in China they said that they made up their factory, or they installed their factory within like 9 months to a year. And so maybe they can do the same in Mexico, or maybe not. But jumping to the last thing, here's a good recap from Fonz DK. Tesla Investor Day, the ultra highlights. Giga Mexico, Master Plan 3, showcase update of Optimus, the robot, provided a little bit of info on Gen 3, just a little bit info of Gen 3 platform. Teased 2 new energy products, lots of info regarding efficiency, engineering, future investments, and of course, reduce costs and efficiency, and reduce costs again, some more after that. I mean, that's how I heard it. And of course, introduced Tom Zhu, which we've known for a little bit now, the global sales and service executive for all that, coming from Tesla China. And another things that maybe you've missed from it was in one shot there was this Model S off to the side, off to the right, and there's 2 things that look weird here. The first thing is this huge, what is this, power bank charger, maybe it's a supercharger in your home. And the other thing is this floor power mat right here. Is this wireless charging that they talked about a long time ago? And one thing is that like Tesla Scope came in and kind of clarified that this charging wall is imperative if we have robotaxis, because when a robotaxi drives home after picking up a bunch of passengers and left and right, it needs to be able to charge by itself, not be able to use some sort of charging mechanism and plugging itself in. And it just needs to be able to drive over it, charge it, and then be ready for the next trip. So definitely something that was a spy shot, or something that someone noticed through some of the presentation, and definitely pretty interesting stuff. And the last thing that I personally enjoyed was kind of seeing the manufacturing differences from what they did before, with like how they would build Tesla Model Ys or Tesla vehicles the traditional way, I guess, some other legacy manufacturers, and how they have like the casting or whatever it's called, the casting, and then they would surround it, fill it with all the interior stuff after, and kind of make it clunky, and there's be this huge mass object that just rolls through the assembly line. But and then switching into their new way, which is the individual pieces assembled at certain separate areas that are smaller, that don't take up a lot of space, and then having it all come together with like the battery lifting up from the bottom with the seats. Like, I thought that was pretty interesting to see kind of their before process and their after process, to see that it's certainly if more efficient, and Tesla's always trying to become more efficient at the end of the day. But let me know what your thoughts on Tesla Investor Day. It was a very long, I thought it was going to, usually it's like an hour long, maybe 2 hours long, but it was like 3-4 hours long. Well, I don't even know at the end of the day, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Always fun to watch these Tesla events. And maybe coming soon we'll have Cybertruck delivery event, we'll have Tesla earnings call, usually around April, I think. And then we'll also have maybe a Model 2, Model Dolphin vehicle release with, of course, the deposit stage at the end of the day. But I think yesterday we did a poll and no one really wants a Model 2 deposit. Everybody just wants Model 3, Model Y, and of course S and X. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts on Tesla Investor Day. We're going to roll right back into the comments, some of the questions. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link. So definitely check it out if you're interested in supporting the channel. Water break. Tesla announced any update to Model X. Should we buy Model X now? Nope, they didn't really talk anything about any vehicles besides a next-gen vehicle, but no update to Model X. Watched all 4 hours. Disappointed there was no Tesla Vision info. I feel like the live stream was Tesla saying they're here to stay as a dominant EV company. Yeah, and also I certainly think maybe it was a pitch to investors saying like, hey, we're going to spend a load of money. So be prepared or something like that. I've been scurrying trying to see if I have 5 megapixel cameras delivered on February 6th, but I noticed the clarity is really sharp. Yeah, you should be fine then. Also putting out there that they're going to explore other electric segments. Yeah, constantly going out there and trying new stuff. Had a Model Y performance on white EDD. Grabbed a Model Y Midnight Silver white interior with waiting for Tesla. Got a sign of available build date. Do you think someone saw it and rejected it? Yeah, maybe. It's possible. Or it kind of got delayed for whatever reason. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. When will you get your VIN? Probably like 2 to 3 weeks out before your delivery date. Model Y performance VIN assigned to me yesterday. How do I check the build date? There's VIN decoders, but not really. I guess go to Tesla Motor Club forum and see what everybody else has for their VINs. Oops, never mind. Steering wheels are all on the left in Germany. They drive on the right, not like drive on the right like US. Oh, okay. I got Elon's going to save the planet, but just want to hear Tesla Vision is live now before they close out. I know, right? Seriously, like they got asked, they literally got asked about hardware 4.0 and they kind of just brushed over it, didn't say anything about it. Tesla down 5.5 after hours. Investors don't like Investors Day. Yeah, 100%. I'm in Dallas, but my Model Y performance VIN shows Fremont. Are all Model Y performances built in Fremont? I think for the most part, most of them are. After Investor Day, I decided to not take my Model Y that I was supposed to take on 3.4. There's a 2K difference. Is there any way I can sell right at Tesla location? Wow. Okay. Wow. That's opposite from, because a lot of people are still going to take delivery of their vehicle, but I guess you're just saying no at the end of the day, right? So you can try. No, it's pretty tough to sell your reservation. I mean, there's ways, but it's also really tough. Tesla's emphasizing their sustainability goals to show that they're EVs with legacy automakers making EVs and promising autonomous software. Tesla will lose value if it stays just an EV company. Yeah, 100%. Elon basically admitted today that they were testing the waters with the crazy price drops. The way I read it, he saw a huge demand with what he said was a moderate price decrease. No more huge price drops coming, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think so at this point. I mean, that was certainly out of their character to drop $13,000 on a Model Y long range. And I feel like they'll just go back to their typical 500,000, maybe $2,000 decrease or increase. Have my Model Y back from delivery adjustment, panel gaps 9% plus. Happy, nice, congrats. Yeah, I mean, Teslas all have build quality issues, so it's good you're able to get one that's in good condition. Makes me think Tesla is realizing themselves legacy auto is catching up to them fast. Oh, it's good observation, maybe. Pay for car notes, folks. Yeah, exactly. Figure 3, horrible. Can't wait to find all on the federal tax credit. Yeah, me too. We're all kind of just waiting and seeing at the end of the day, right? Hi, Rafi. To all new Tesla owners, if any error pops up, do not panic. First, check if you have the latest software, then turn off the car. All errors will be fixed. Tesla is a computer. Yes, and you can even just like hold down both scroll wheels to reset it at the end of the day as well. It's funny that when the guy asked about Tesla being made autonomously, and Elon was pretty much, nah, we don't want to get to that point. Yeah, because Elon, he's been very vocal on how he's scared about AI at the end of the day. Maybe Ford will allow you to turn the function off for an additional fee. That's a good one. Yeah. Everybody's just jumping in. He's talking about how Ford just patented a autonomous vehicle repossession system, and maybe Ford will allow you to turn it off if you pay a fee. What happened to the Tenet wall charger giveaway? Yeah, that's a good point. We're going to announce a giveaway winner tonight, and maybe we'll probably do it live on stream once we queue it up. We'll probably do it at the end of the stream because I've got like a YouTube comment automizer auto picker. We'll just do it all the way at the end after we roll through all the topics. But thanks for reminding me. Automation will increase quality. Yeah, 100%. It should. I paid $25K for my solar in California, and then they come with an unlimited plan. Punks. $25K for solar in California. That doesn't sound too bad, actually. What company did you go with? Jet ski. Yeah. Yeah, on like a Tesla jet ski on the diagram of all the vehicles. Like, yeah, a Tesla jet ski. That'd be funny. Was waiting for the Apple just one more thing moment that never came. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are used to that, and maybe they just stopped doing it after a while. Mexico factory makes sense to make new gen models, while US Giga have more time to retool per Elon. Yeah, and then they could also just sell their next gen vehicle in Mexico and all these other countries as well. And so it does make sense to kind of build it at a lower cost factory, I guess. Saw the huge wall charger, completely missed the charging mat. Yeah, it kind of snuck in there right at the end like that. Like this thing, right at the bottom. Like for a second, I did a double take. I was like, is that a Model Y or a Model S? Sorry, not definitely not a Model Y, Model S, because it's got like I think that's an older design, right? Because it's all black now, or maybe it's just the light reflecting it or whatever. But yeah, charging mat right at the bottom. Thanks for sharing, Dennis. Yesterday, I found it interesting. Tesla didn't cover a plan to improve customer service. Feels like a big miss. That's a good point, because Tesla service is not the best at all. In my opinion, wireless charger won't happen. Too much energy lost in the transfer. Doesn't fit with Tesla's efficiency model. I think we'll see a home charger that will plug itself in. Yeah, 100%. Lining itself with a charger port or something along the line of it, like a robot, or your Tesla robot coming in, Optimus, unplugging it, and then plugging it in for you, right? That could be what it is. That anniversary day reminded me of Engineering Business Plans 101 in college. Yeah, like everybody coming up, do a little presentation, this is what we're going to do. 16% here, 25% there, and, cost efficiency. We're going to make everything cheaper. I think good deals for aftermarket rims from Model 3. I've always liked the T37 look, but those are probably expensive. Is there going to be an update on this Tesla Model 3 or a price reduction? I want to place my order for standard range now, but I have a fear they will announce an update or price reduction. Certainly there's going to be an update later this year. That's at least what the rumor is. A Project Highland, maybe even September. So that could be out. But in terms of price reduction, maybe. This is what I'll tell you, Theodore. Right now we're in March, which is the last month of the quarter, and Tesla always gets a little bit more aggressive in the last month of each quarter. So right here, I'm waiting for Tesla.com. There are a handful of Tesla Model 3 demos that have discounts, and this could ramp up to maybe 2 pages of discounts by the end of the month. So I would just say keep your eye out on waiting for Tesla.com. But you want to take advantage of the $7,500 tax credit and CVRP before it's gone. How can I time that perfectly? That's a little tough. I would say, the tax credit could change at any moment. So if you are really, really trying to lock down on that $7,500 tax credit, I would just take delivery. I would find a vehicle and pick one ASAP. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah, did you buy your Model X brand new or a demo one? I bought a used one from a private seller, actually. Video coming soon. I spoke to Tesla rep today, and he mentioned that 7,500 will most likely stay the same until the end of the month as well. Okay, so maybe. I'll be on vacation during my delivery date, so I changed the color, hoping to push back the delivery date. Nice. What's your take on Corpus Christi plant? No take, actually. So glad to catch you live. I'm addicted to your channel. No, thank you, Yvette. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for jumping. Thanks for dropping that comment. And always thank you for hitting the like button and coming in. Was listening to the full self-driving presentation. Always thinking, why would anyone pay for this, especially at $15,000? Yeah, 100%. $15,000 is a very expensive feature that really has no ROI. But if they do robotaxi and it's got ROI, it can make sense. How does it work if I finance through a credit union and the CU wires Tesla the money and I paid my down payment on Tesla? On delivery day, if I reject the car issues, then it's a painful process to try and get that money back. So just keep that in mind. Why do you want to push back the delivery date? I just got here. Yeah. Tapia Andy, good electrician for SoCal prices for home charger installation. It depends on your panel. It depends on the distance from the panel to the charger. I'm going through it right now. I've hired a second electrician, so I'll let you know, Tapia, on how that goes, because it's not over yet. And with LA, there's very, very special. There's a very special process if you want that $1,000 rebate. So it's yeah. Hi Dennis. Hi Vichu. Perhaps Elon saying the big model reveals at the new Palo Alto R&D campus. Yeah, for sure. I'm confused how Tenet works. Please explain briefly. Basically, it's for someone that wants the lowest monthly payment possible. This is Tenet. Shout out to Tenet for sponsoring a portion of these videos this month. Link down below in the description if you want to check them out. But Tenet is for someone that wants the lowest monthly payment possible because you can defer the $7,500 tax credit to next year, which then of course allows you to have a low monthly payment. And this is because if you wanted to do that, and then once you get the tax credit next year, you can then pay off the portion of the loan back. And then I would just say refinance the whole thing, because maybe interest rates will be lower, because even if this is equal to Tesla's rate or even a little bit less or whatever, that type of interest on a 1 year short-term loan like that is really not, that bad at the end of the day. And so this allows you to get a low monthly payment. And this might be good for like people that use their car for work, or like Uber drivers that need more cash flowing each month, and they'd rather, have a low obligation, I guess, to say this, so to speak, for a business, because it's all about cash flow. And so could be good for that. It could be for whatever reason you want the low monthly payment, but check out Tenet down below in the description. And thank you to Tenet for sponsoring some of the videos. And at the end of this video, at the end of this stream, we will be announcing the giveaway that we worked with Tenet to give away a Tesla wall charger. And there was details in the videos like 2 Fridays ago, but it's probably too late to join at this point. So, but thank you to Tenet for sponsoring that. And we'll announce the giveaway at the end for sure. Hi Dennis, you not approve the low income for CVRP rebate. My roommates are students and do not pay their taxes. Thanks. That's tough because you would probably get the low income one, but you wouldn't get the federal tax credit one. So it's kind of like a catch-22, especially if someone doesn't pay any taxes at all. But they use income statements, pay stubs, W-2, all that stuff. I would totally get full self-driving. I could stay at the home and my car would do Uber and Lyft. Yeah, 100%. Like I would just buy a model Dolphin just for the fun of it. My delivery date is March 3rd to 17th, but I'm going back to traveling in Asia. I won't be back until April. Ooh, like the whole game could change, that's for sure. Tax credit, all that stuff could be completely different when you get back. My Model Y performance is scheduled for March 21st to 30th. Hopefully I can get these 7,500. Yeah, fingers crossed. That's for sure on that. All right. We got one more topic, and then I guess we'll do the giveaway. Oh, actually, no, we got 2 topics. So let's queue up the thing. All right, so welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to get into Cybertruck Spotting news, I guess, because the Cybertruck was at the Investor Day in full force, and I'm getting excited about this car, that's for sure. It looks a lot better, a lot cleaner, a lot of very, very polished in person and all these videos and pictures and all that stuff. So we will take a look at it, that's for sure. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically getting the best deal on your Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. Shout out to Tesla Daily. Rob was at the event and he took an amazing walk around video about the Cybertruck. So definitely, go check out this. But it definitely looks a lot cleaner and a lot polished. And of course, we've got this sign right here. This is pre-production beta. Full hard cold rolled stainless steel, but maybe it's just the camera angle, or maybe it's just how the lighting is hitting it. But this matte look, this cold rolled steel matte look, looks a lot better than what I've seen, because I've seen a prototype Cybertruck at the Peterson Museum, but this one looks a lot cooler. And look at this huge, ginormous window right here. Like if a rock hits that, like you're just SOL at that point. Camera right here on the side, steering wheel, which we'll get to in a little bit. Huge ass mirrors. I mean, the Cybertruck rims, rim cap, and all that stuff looks, pretty bad ass at the end of the day. Huge wiper mirror that everybody's been commenting on, that's for sure. And then we've got like this triple camera right here in the front. Is this like the sun visors? Huge windscreen, that's for sure. And we've got the top of the moonroof, which we saw in another aerial video before from what's inside. But I mean, I gotta say, it looks pretty good. Like, let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think? We've got an interior shot where they got I guess this is like a yoke square steering wheel. Like, what are they gonna call this? A mushroom steering wheel? Or no, that's not a cool enough name, right? Like a square. I don't even know. I'm not in marketing, I guess. But this certainly looks like a much better, like not very polished, not beta, not pre-production truck at all. Like this looks like it's ready to get onto the market in full force and to take some deliveries, which I mean, they've been saying for a while, June, right? And, we potentially could get 5,000 units in the first 6 months. I mean, that would be pretty sick at the end of the day. And in terms of pricing, like, I mean, if they could come under 80K, which is the IRS tax credit price limit, but I mean, They probably won't, but it's probably gonna be like $99,990 right off the bat. But definitely some interesting stuff. Here's another picture from Rob. Like it looks badass at the end of the day. That's for sure. Here's another picture of the interior. We've got this really funky square. I mean, I like it. I like it's very sporty, flat top, flat bottom. It's not blocking some of the, the front windshield and all that stuff, but definitely some pretty crazy stuff at the end of the day. I certainly like it. And of course, they've taken the same type of screen from the Model X and the Model Y. It probably can rotate at the same time, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on are. Are you excited about the Cybertruck, or is this kind of just meh to you at the end of the day? Because like maybe you're in the camp that I used to be. Like I'll see it, I'll believe it when I see it on the road, for sure. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts. We're gonna jump back into the comments, into the live stream. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. So definitely check it out if you want to support the channel. Link down below in the description. Water break. Oops. Let this comment up. Vichu just got delivery on February 28th on Model Y long range. Oh my god, best car I ever drove. Love 0 to 60. Love stereo and autopilot. Thank you for Park Community Credit Union 2.14 72 months. And with 0 down, you're the best. No, thank you. Thanks for coming in. Of course, Park Community has unfortunately changed their rates since, but that was a sick rate, that's for sure, right? Was it Park Community? Yeah, it was Park Community. I think it's not as low as 2.14. And actually, it's a sad day. I was going through. I went down a rabbit hole, of course, because I want to make sure I have the most up to date list of the best banks, best credit unions, and all that stuff. And our rate that our credit union that was a loss leader, a low leader at 3.2%, unfortunately, is not at 3.2% anymore. So of course, rates are starting to go up. FYI. And it's not 3.2% anymore. But this one's still not bad, like 3.5 for 60 months, 4% for 72 months. But you have to, I'm pretty sure for this one, you have to be in like Kentucky or Chicago. But let's see. And I think this one was one of the really strict ones. But we still got, 6 or 7 credit unions on our list down below in the description and the Patreon link if you want to get the access to it. And they have rates, I think, I don't even know what the average is, but I would say like 3.8, 3.9. Still, of course, still all better than Tesla financing, because Tesla financing is what, a bajillion, like 5.44. But yeah, it's a sad day. We're starting to lose a lot of them like flies. I mean, there are credit unions, believe it or not, that still are 2.5 to 2.9, but they've got really, really, really strict guidelines. And so I've got a separate list in my guide now that there's like 10 of them, all have really good rates, but really strict guidelines. And it could be like, you got to be a part of UCLA, or you got to be a part of University of Hawaii, or whatever, and all that stuff. And so there's a variety of them, that's for sure. But congrats, Vichu. I'm glad you were able to get a sick rate, that's for sure. And that, I mean, 2.1472 months, that doesn't exist anymore at this point. Is it Tesla or IRS who decides the tax credit end date? IRS website says up to 2023. Nowhere on the IRS does it mention March. It's up to the IRS to change or to release guidance on what's going to happen. When can I get Model Y performance if I place the order today? Maybe a month or two. Cybertruck needs removable folding pivot side mirrors for a wider view during towing. Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. It's coming soon. I think the Cybertruck might be really cool. I like the innovation like when the X came out. Yeah, with like the Falcon wings and all that stuff. 2023 Model Y Austin build, no matrix headlights and 2170s batteries. FYI. Oh, really? I thought all Austin, like a long range build. Yeah, because we've heard that the Austin builds, the long ranges don't have matrix headlights, and it's only Fremont that actually gets the matrix headlights. Wookie Cookies, thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining. All right, we'll do one last topic, and then I'll try and set up the queue for the comment picker giveaway. But let's make sure we get the stream marker. So just another update on CVRP. Looks like they've added this section to the website. They removed the February 28th. It used to say February 28th is what that was the next time they would update their site, but most of it hasn't really changed. We still have no wording about a $4,000 or $5,000 increase standard rebate for the Tesla Model 3 or Model Y. And even if you go to like the eligible vehicles and you go down to like the Tesla Model 3 or Tesla Model Y, go to the application page, it still says a $2,000 rebate at the moment. But of course, I've been posting these update videos on the CVRP. This is California only, so I'm sorry to anybody else is watching that's not from California. But after I posted the video yesterday, the person that told me about the $4,000 to $5,000 rebate actually reached back out and said that they called their contact at CVRP again, and that their contact said that the rebate is increased to let's just read it. The rebate increased to $5,000 for the standard rebate, but they just have not updated the website yet. So take that for what it's worth. Of course, we are hopeful that's for sure. Maybe that is the case because it should be going into effect now. But either way, at the end of the day, at this point, I would say if you bought a Tesla vehicle after January 12th in California, go ahead and apply after you bought the vehicle, get in the queue, because, I certainly don't think that funding is going to evaporate, but it certainly is going down. We've gone down yesterday from yesterday to today. I want to say like at least another $3 million in a matter of a couple days or even a day. And so, give it a month or two, this funding could potentially be all gone, especially with the amount of Teslas that Tesla is selling in California. So if you've got an application, if you've been sitting on it, just try and apply ASAP. And then, of course, after you take your delivery of your vehicle, also please apply ASAP. And if you don't know, like there's certain income limits to this, like you have to make less than 135,000 as a single person and 200,000 for as a married couple. And then if you want the extra added $7,500 credit or check that you get in the mail from this program, the CVRP program, then you have to abide by these income limits, and they actually do check at the end of the day. It's per driver's license. They can ask for income verification right here in this section, but I would say just apply at the end of the day. But you can for sure bet we will be watching this site. We will be checking it because if it goes up to $4,000 to $5,000, like from what we've heard or what we've been told, we will be the first to announce it and post it. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts. Let me know if you're waiting for this rebate, or hopefully this doesn't sway your decision on buying a Tesla or not, because whether it's $2,000, $4,000, or $5,000, you're still getting a $7,500 tax federal rebate, most likely if you are under those income limits. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts. And thanks for watching and being updated on CVRP. All right, water break. Anything else I missed about Investor Day that you guys saw that I didn't? You see the Model Y they posted on inventory. Why is it 279 and not 330? That is because it is a standard range version. So standard range is just like the Model 3 standard range. It's got the 4680 battery, in which Ryu can tell you all about it, how it's more efficient essentially, how it potentially could actually be getting 279 miles versus how the long range doesn't get a full 330. And it's better performance and all that stuff. Does the Cybertruck have adjustable air suspension? Yes, it can lift really, really high. And that's why I'm excited for it, because air suspension changes the game for EVs or electric vehicles, because it makes it a lot more comfortable at the end of the day, at least in my opinion. Another reason I went with the performance over long range, playing a hope game that you get Fremont build to get the most up-to-date build. Yeah, essentially, from what we hear, Fremont has a better features at the end of the day versus where Austin does not. All right, let me switch this screen while I queue up that giveaway video, because we'll just do it live on stream, so that way no one can accuse us of rig. Because we'll use the fancy dancy automation systems that they got. And so, of course, thanks for everybody to join into this video about Tesla financing rates and all that stuff. There will be an updated video this Friday, 100%. So definitely hit that subscribe. I'll probably pick 2 credit unions and give you all the spiel on it. And hopefully, of course, those rates will be better than Tesla. And on top of that, you should definitely subscribe because we're working with OC Tint Solutions, the OC Tint Solutions in Anaheim. Let me just pull it up just to give them the justice. Jason has agreed to give away 3M ceramic tint for your Tesla. Your Tesla. It could be a Model 3, a Model Y, S, or X. There's going to be, of course, instructions on how to enter the giveaway. Some of it might include going to his website and maybe filling a form out. So if you want to get early on that, and so of course say DennisCW sent you. But you can't just spam them. Don't spam them. But Jason has agreed to give away free tints. But you also, to win this, and there's only one winner, you must be willing to drive to his shop in Anaheim to, of course, claim the 3M ceramic tint for your Tesla at the end of it. So, I mean, that's what, of unspeakable value at the end of it, right? So definitely it's going to be fun for sure. We're gonna do that. It's going to be probably one topic video on Friday. We'll just jump straight to it, and then we'll do the giveaway at the end. Well, the giveaway will be, of course, will be a process, and then we'll run it for probably like 2 weeks or something like that, and then choose the winner in 2 weeks. But shout out to Jason. Hey, Jason does great work. He on tinting. He's tinted 3 of my Teslas so far. And if you don't believe me, just, I mean, 5-star, 411 reviews. Like, you literally, that's, you can't do that. It's like perfect at the end of the day. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. But let's see. So I got the video queue out. Let me find a YouTube comment giveaway picker. I think I used this one last time. Oh no, this one makes you like sign in. No good. Maybe it's this one. I think it's this one. Okay. Perfect, perfect. So hopefully all of you joined. If that's, oh look, it's me. But shout out to Tenet for sponsoring this giveaway. Tenet, if you didn't know, is a financing company. It's a newer financing company that allows you to finance vehicles a little bit differently because they understand EVs that are different than other types of vehicles, and it allows you to get a very low monthly payment because it allows you to defer the $7,500 tax credit to next year. And so there is a strategy where you can defer that tax credit, get the low monthly payment, get the tax credit next year, pay it off, and then on and on after that. So that way you can get a low monthly payment. So definitely check it out. Thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this giveaway and a portion of the videos. And of course, because of that, Tenet has decided to give away a Tesla wall charger, a wall connector. Let me just pull it up as well. And I worked with Tenet to try and get this lined up because I certainly feel like, giving back to you all that come in and support is, the best. And that, I would love to structure giveaways like this all the time to give back to give away parts and accessories that I think you will need. And a Tesla wall connector is pretty sick, and it's pretty cool that Tenet agreed to do that for a channel like this. And it certainly it makes sense because of the niche we're in, because a lot of people probably want this type of accessory. But there was this pretty strict, process, right, on what you had to do to join the giveaway. So we've got the video queued up here. We've got the random YouTube comment picker right now. The funny thing is, what if it picks a comment that doesn't, say the done word, right? And we'll just do it anyway. Okay, includes replies, allows duplicates, anything goes. Ooh, should we do keyword? Let's see, is it keyword filter? Justify keyword filters. Does that mean like I have to? Oh, so if I do this, that's good, right? Watch it like not work and I screw up on stream here. Because if all of them, they all have it, right? That should work, right? Keyword filter, first comment filter, cryptocurrency filter. Or does filter mean like it will filter it out? I think we'll just do anything goes, and hopefully the first comment that it picks will have the done word in it, and then we'll be good. And if it doesn't, then we'll just run it again, right? Right? All right, let's just run it. All right. Holy wow, 433 comments, guys. All right, pick a winner. Look at that, 0410. Let's make sure we get that screenshot. Congrats to you. Hopefully you're in here. Hopefully you've seen this. But I will post this on the community page, so that way these scammers can't get to us. Right here. I'm going to post it here. Hopefully here, you're here. If not, I don't know. I guess I should put a time limit on, right? So because I can comment on your comment and then you should be fine. But congrats to 0410. Congrats on winning a wall charger from Tenet. I'll reach out to you and then we'll coordinate the rest of the process after that. But don't worry, everybody, if you didn't win, another giveaway coming this Friday. And you can for sure bet we will be doing giveaways every single month of something. That's for sure. Dennis gifted himself. Well, the funny thing is, I don't need a Tesla wall charger. I'm going through a process right now. I went with a wall box for a J1772. But yeah, still in process. It's installed. I'm just trying to figure out the how to get the $1,000 LA credit. But the funny thing is, by the time I install it to exactly how LA will approve it, I'll probably have spent over $1,000. Let's see. You guys are asking a bunch of tint questions. I made a couple of videos on it, but I went with 50% in the front and 15% on the sides. OZ tints legit? Yeah, 100%. Only Patreon members should be eligible for the giveaways. Yeah, I thought about doing that too, but then Patreon actually has like strict guidelines on giveaways and contests, and I don't want to get banned from Patreon. But I thought about it because I was like, oh, you must do this, and then I could run it through that, and then it'd be legit because I can all that stuff. But yeah, drive down tomorrow and drop your name, lol. In before I drive tomorrow? No, certainly. No, you can go to OC Tint Solutions and ask for the Dennis deal, the Dennis YouTube deal, and he'll know. He'll literally will give you a deal. How dark should I get the front wheel tinted? 50%. I heard 5% for heat reduction. Yeah. No VIN yet. Waiting away. March 6th to March 31st. Try the EDD hacks that we talked about in the past 2 days. Maybe that will work. Model Y already has tint in the rear. Yeah, also in the back windows, but you could try and match it in or do like a UV thin layer or a thin layer for UV protection as well. See the God. Well, thank you. Welcome. What auto loans you end up going with? I'm thinking Parsons. Yeah, try it. Model Y 7500 giveaway. Yeah, if we can get there at one point, like I'd randomly throw out, if we can get to like 1 million subs, like we might as well just give away a Tesla at that point, right? Done. Yeah, you already did. The high number, less tints. The lower the number, the darker tint. Yes. Rigged. Yvette, congrats. Yeah, Dennis gives it himself. Yes. So 20% on the two sides and 25% on the windshield. 25 on the windshield is kind of dark. Maybe 50. Love the giveaways. I mean giveaways. Yeah, giveaways. Ah, I see what you did there. I like it. Any financing less than 3% in 72 months? No, that's well, there actually no, there is. They're just really strict to join, so I can't recommend them. But I've got a list of like 10 credit unions on my Patreon link that yeah. Some of them have under 3%, but it's just really hard to join them, so I can't recommend them. Is this Rematic? Yes. Does OC Tint Solutions do PPF? Yes, they do. Hit them up. They actually might have done just PPF on my Model X. Video coming soon. And yes, they're getting into PPF. What are the EDD hacks? I'm waiting till March 2010 to the 31st. Check out the videos on the channel. Just type in EDD hacks. Would you consider covering Tesla Canada financing options? Kind of tough. Yeah. How long did you take to get a used to one pedal driving? maybe like a week. You get used to it really quick. We're waiting for the Tesla Vision to work in the models without parking sensors. Yeah, I mean, maybe soon. Maybe soon. Any hacks get VIN assignment sooner for Model Y Ps? Model Y Ps probably not because there really isn't that many in the inventory, but long range might be a little bit easier before. Can you match the Tesla across straight lines? I don't think so. Yeah, that's tough for sure at the end of the day. Yeah, but congrats to 0410. I'll probably reach out to you and try and coordinate that. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. I know today was a little bit later. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. And of course, don't forget that subscribe because Friday we'll be doing our next giveaway for Tints. And then we'll probably talk about some other stuff as well. But thanks for watching this video. Please hit that like if you enjoy it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.